So the secret meeting that changed rap music and destroyed a generation.
Damn.
So it says, hello. After more than 20 years, I finally decided to tell the world what I witnessed in 1991, which I believe was one of the biggest turning points in popular music and ultimately American society. I have struggled for a long time weighing the pros and cons of making my story public, as I was reluctant to implicate the individuals who were present that day. So I've simply decided to leave out the names and all the details that may risk my personal well-being and that of those who were, like me, dragged into something they weren't ready for.
Damn.
Hold on, let me
So we gonna tell a story.
We gonna tell the story. We ain't scared.
You know what I'm saying? What they gonna do?
They after us, not just playing.
Look, that black man.
So look, so he says, between the late 80s and early 90s, I was what you may call a decision maker with one of the more established companies in the music industry. I came to Europe in the early 80s and quickly established myself in the business. The industry was different back then, since technology and media weren't accessible to people like that, like they are today. The industry had more control over the public and had the means to influence them any way it wanted.
Right.
This may explain why in early 1991, I was invited to attend a closed-door meeting with a small group of business insiders to discuss rap music's new direction. Rap music's new direction.
Yeah.
Little did I know we would be asked to participate in one of the most unethical and destructive business practices ever seen.
Crazy.
So this was the meeting. The meeting was held at a private residence on the outskirts of Los Angeles. I remember about 25 to 30 people were being there.
Right.
Most of them familiar faces. Speaking of those I knew, we joked about the theme of the meeting, as many of us did not care for rap and failed to see the purpose of being invited to a private meeting to discuss the future of hip hop.
Talk to him.
Among the attendees was a small group of unfamiliar faces who stayed to themselves and made no attempt to socialize beyond their circle. Based on their behavior and formal appearances, they didn't seem to be from our industry. Our casual chatter was interrupted when we were asked to sign the confidentiality agreement, preventing us from publicly discussing the information presented during the meeting. Needless to say, this intrigued, in some cases, disturbed many of us. The agreement was only a page long, but very clear on matters and consequences, which stated that violating the terms would result in job termination immediately. We asked several people what this meeting was about and the reason for such secrecy, but could not find anyone who had the answers for us. A few people refused to sign and walked out. Nobody stopped them. I was tempted to follow, but curiosity got the best of me.
That's right.
A man who was part of the unfamiliar group collected all the agreements from us. So now it's going to get to the good part because the meeting about to start.
Talk to him, G.
It says, quickly after the meeting began, hold on one second.
Get your popcorn, y'all.
Popcorn, get your pistol. No,
for real though.
Quickly after this meeting began, one of the industry colleagues, who shall remain nameless like everybody else, thanked us for attending. He then gave the floor to a man who only introduced himself by first name and gave no other details about his personal background. I think he was the owner of the residence, but that was never confirmed. He briefly praised all of us for the success we had achieved in our industries and congratulated us for being selected as part of this small group of decision makers. At this point, I began to feel slightly uncomfortable and the strangeness of this gathering. The subject quickly changed as the speaker went on to tell us that the respective companies we represented had invested in a very profitable industry, which could become even more rewarding with our active involvement.
Dang.
He explained that the companies we worked for had invested millions into the building of privately owned prisons, and that our positions of influence in the music industry would actually impact the profitability of these investments. Then he says, I remember many of us in the group immediately looking at each other in awe and confusion. At the same time, I didn't know what a private prison was, but I wasn't the only one. Sure enough, someone asked what these prisons were and what any of this had to do with music. We were told that these prisons were built by privately owned companies who received funding from the government based on the number of inmates.
Mm-hmm.
The more inmates, the more the government would pay these prisons.
Mm-hmm.
It was also made clear to us that since these prisons are privately owned, as they become publicly traded, we'd be able to buy shares. Most of us were taken back by this. Again, a couple of people asked what this had to do with us. At this point, my industry colleague who had first opened the meeting took the floor again and answered our questions. He told us that since our employees had become silent investors in this prison business, it was now in their interest to make sure that these prisons remain filled. Our job would be to help make this happen by making music which promote criminal behavior, rap being the music of choice. He assured us that this would be a great situation for us because rap music was becoming an increasingly profitable market for our companies. And as employees, we'd also be able to buy stocks in these prisons. Immediately, silence came over the room. You could have heard a pin drop. I remember looking around to make sure I wasn't dreaming and saw half of the people with dropped jaws. My daze was interrupted when someone shouted, "Is this a fucking joke?" At this point, things became chaotic.
Right.
Two of the men who were part of the unfamiliar group grabbed the man who shouted and attempted to remove him from the house. A few of us, myself included, tried to intervene. One of them pulled out a gun, and we all backed off. They separated us from the crowd, and all four of us was escorted outside. My industry colleague who opened up the meeting earlier hurried out to meet us and reminded us that we had signed an agreement and would suffer the consequences of speaking out about this publicly or even those who attended the meeting.
Damn.
I asked him, why was he involved with something so corrupt? And he replied, it's bigger than the music business and nothing we can do. And no, it's bigger than the music business and nothing we want to challenge without risking consequences. We all protested as we walked back into the house. I remember word for word, the last thing he said, "It's out of my hands now. Just remember you signed an agreement." He then closed the door behind him. The men rushed us to our car and actually waited until we drove off the property.
Damn.
So this meeting.
All right, family. Peace, peace, peace. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Sincere Love the Godcast. You are now tuning in live with Sincere Love the Godcast. I'm your man, Sincere Love the God, and this is my co-host, the Cali Country Girl, Nicety. What's going on? How you doing tonight, sis?
Hot. It's hot out here in Cali right now. It's been in the 90s since like late last week. We've been suffering.
Man, I'm hating on y'all right now.
Man, I mean, it's what, 4:11. You know, the sun is going down, but it's still 89 degrees like right now.
Man, I got the heat. I got the heater on me right now. You know what I'm saying? I got this little space heater sitting right next to me right now, and I got a hoodie on.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? I've been a little bit under the weather the last couple of days and all of that. So, man, I need some of that Cali weather right now. Man, I'll be at the beach.
You can have it. You can have it. We're ready to cool down.
What's going on, everybody in the chat? Some chick named Star. Good to see you. Good to see you. Cuzzo in the building. Tamisha, Mama Love in the building. What's going on? How y'all doing tonight?
Thanks for joining us, y'all.
Did you ever see that Crazy Bone interview, or did you ever hear about
that? I have. I've seen it a while ago. Yeah, it was. I mean,
excuse me.
I guess not shocking. You know.
I'm talking too loud for you to hear the TV.
Is that Seven?
Yeah.
Seven said, "Shut up."
Come here, say what's up to everybody real quick.
Hey, Seven.
You gotta speak louder than that, son.
Peace.
You gotta speak louder than that. Say peace. Say peace to say peace to Miss Nicely.
Peace and love.
Look,
loud?
look, Nana in the chat right there too. Look, say hi to
Hey,
Nana.
Nana.
Hi.
All right, you could close the door, man. So you don't gotta hear.
But yeah, I saw that a while ago. I guess, at the time that I saw it, I was just like, wow, but I guess nothing surprises me anymore about the industry, considering all the stuff we've heard about the crazy contracts a lot of these artists were in, and selling millions of records, selling out concerts, tours, everything, and broke. Because of these contracts. So, it didn't surprise me. But it did surprise me because I was like, so you basically telling these, black men and women in hip hop who come from impoverished conditions to sell their people out for their profit. Like that, I mean, Facts. That was okay with you?
Facts. And I remember when I first seen it too, because like I said, that interview came out some years ago now. And I remember when I first seen it, I wasn't surprised, but I remember initially feeling upset because I was a victim of that.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? I became one of those victims. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got caught up in the mass incarceration system, the prison industrial complex, and all of that, based on me trying to emulate what I was hearing in the rap music and seeing, and you know what I mean? All of that negative culture that was being pushed through the MTV and BET and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I was a youth at the time, and so I was the target. You know what I mean? It wasn't about the adults at that time already. They had already pretty much washed up the generation before us. So it was about making sure that the next generation they had something in store for us. And so, just coming to that realization that wow, it wasn't just because, a lot of times, you put everything on yourself, and you do have to take a certain level of, responsibility, what I'm saying, for your own actions. But just knowing that this was a whole plan and it was way beyond me, like the man said in the meeting, he said, this is bigger than me. Just understanding that how much bigger it was than me, and it really wasn't, all my fault. You know what I mean? I was being manipulated and programmed into this lifestyle.
Unbeknownst to you. Unbeknownst to you. You're trying to, a lot of times we're trying to get this bag, and so if this is what I have to do to get the bag, because this is what I see on TV, this is what I see on the music videos, this is what I see my favorite artists promoting, right? Well, this is what I got to do to get the bag, and so it was definitely mind control, definitely indoctrinating, a lot of negativity, a lot of poison into our community and into the music, even in movies. When you think about it, a lot of the movies that we have, we be like, yeah, these are our classics, right? And we still love them, right? Because of the people that were in it, and it does tell our stories. But hindsight 2020, when are we gonna? At what point will we be displayed in a positive light? We have a lot of heroes, right? So we only gonna see each other killing one another.
And when you look at the movies now, you could glean some positive messages from the movies when you look at it now as an adult. But when you're a child, you're very impressionable and you're not able to really, cipher through it like that. You know what I'm saying? So and they're aware of that. You know what I'm saying? These people are very wise. You know what I'm saying? And so they understand how the mind works. They understand how the subconscious works and how that affects behavior. You know what I'm saying? And so they understood that already. You know what I mean?
And a lot of people would do anything for money, including sell their own people out and including sell their own souls for $1, and thank goodness for, this brother here, when he heard it, and I guess a few others there, they were like, nah, this don't sit right with my spirit, and, they didn't sell out, but imagine the ones that didn't tell this story, that have been in that same meeting, and probably a lot of ones right now that are on top of, the industry and have made a lot of money. You kind of want to question, so did you say yeah at that meeting? Did you sign on a dotted line? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't think they really had too many artists present at the meeting. You know what I'm saying? It was really the executives, you know, the people that was going to be calling shots at the labels about who was going to get signed and who wasn't, and what was going to get put out and what wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't really the artist that was present. Like, okay, I'll do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like that. But at the same time, like I heard Too Short talk about how early in his career he wanted to do a conscious album. You know. And when he went to the label, I think he actually made it. He went and recorded something.
The Ghetto, the song The Ghetto.
Yeah, I remember that song. Yeah. But he did a whole album, you know what I'm saying? Trying to uplift the people. And when he brought it to the label, they was like, you know, maybe next time, but this time we need you to make the filthiest album you could make. Right. You know, we need that pimp shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know, once you get established and you know, once you're good to go, we got your name out there thoroughly, then you could give us this album. But right now, you know, we got to give him what's hot. That ain't what's hot right now. You know what I'm saying? And I remember him talking about that. So still, you know, artists got to take some level of responsibility as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I thought it would be a good idea to open up today's show with that clip, because we're going to be talking about the Kanye shit. And Kanye was dropping a lot of heavy information in that Drink Champs interview. And I just thought it was relevant.
It was definitely relevant. I think that, you know, it was needed, you know, and a lot of, I see, you know, you looking at the comments and stuff, and because they may not like the messenger, right? A lot of people are kind of shooting down what he said, but they ain't the messenger. Forget who mouth is coming from. The truth is the truth, no matter who's speaking it. That's how I look at it, right? I have come to learn that, you know, when people say goofy stuff, I can throw away the goofy, but I can take in the Jews, you know, that this person is speaking, you know, and throw away what's not needed for me. And on that show, Kanye was just across the board for me, on code, speaking nothing but truth. And he's just like, F it at this point. You know what I'm saying? If y'all gonna kill me, because I keep hearing him kind of talking about death. You know, and I think that's him saying, you know, these people are so powerful, and we've seen what happened, you know, to other artists, but I'm going to stare death in the face and speak this truth. And I appreciate that 100%.
Absolutely. So, like, yeah, as far as the criticism and all that, I can't pay that shit no mind with the level of courage that this man is showing. You know what I'm saying? Because, like you said, we've seen this before. We know that the consequences are real. You know what I'm saying? Talk about Michael Jackson, talk about Prince, you go all the way back to Sam Cooke.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
We know that the consequences are very real. And so, you know, when he's saying that out loud, he's not just being, you know, hyperbolic. You know what I mean? Like, he's putting his life on the line to say what's real. And as we see, it ain't too many that's willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? He's not the only one that knows the things that he's saying.
Bingo. You know, he's just the one with the courage, you know, to put it all on the line and just say it. Truth, speaking truth to power. And again, if this means death for me, like he said, I'm going to let God use me regardless. If this is the end, God is using me to speak this and tell my people and feed my people this truth. And if that means I close my eyes and don't open them up anymore, to me, that's a real cold warrior right there. That's a soldier.
And he's talking about, you know, even if I got to lose everything I got, you know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, I'm homeless out here. So be it. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, you can't dangle a check in front of me. You know what I mean? You can't dangle some nigga trinkets in front of me and get me to sell out. Like, nah. You know, and again, we're not going to agree with everything Kanye say and do. You know what I mean? But who you going to agree with everything that they say and do? You know what I'm saying? That's called emotional maturity. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you want to start off with the gay shit, or you want to talk about some other things first. How you want to do this tonight, man? I'll let you call it, because I actually got a lot of clips written down that I want to play and break down.
Since we on there, I guess we can, you know, proceed, since we're already kind of opening up with it. You know, we might as well, you know, go ahead and, you know, give the people that have not seen it, you know, people in the chat, also those that are watching live, you know, if you haven't seen it, and even if you have, we're going to recap and we're going to talk about it. If you guys have any questions, please put your questions in the chat. If you have a comment, put it in the chat so that we can open up dialogue about this, because we got to talk about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so let me get this ready. Oh, actually, yep. Actually, I'm gonna start it right here too because I wanted to say something about this little intro. I'm gonna play the intro, and so I don't know if Revolt or anybody might be on some bullshit. So let me just read the copyright
19
disclaimer.
Copyright right Act of 1976. Let's get it.
You know what I'm saying? Let me read the copyright disclaimer because we're gonna be playing a lot of clips from this show. Let me see. Where's my notes? All right. All right, here we go. So, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Nonprofit education or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So there you go. All right, let me share the screen. Share the screen and let's get into it, man. Boom. All right. And everybody, make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the share button. Invite like 5 people. Everybody invite like 5 people. Come chop it up with us tonight, man.
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah, exactly.
What is it? Twitter, your IG.
Appreciate y'all, by the way, in advance. All right, here we go. And so, yeah, I'm gonna play the intro.
Yeah, you know what? Let's switch it up to the Japanese whiskey. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, welcome back, baby. Man, enough of this shit already, boy. This is just on the okay. You get lit, okay. Unsolicited by me. It's like, okay, well, if I'm crazy and it's up, then it's up. Then it's up. So goddamn Kanye, he came as Kanye. So we can't meet, we can't have a conversation? Y'all stupid motherfuckers, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yo, this Ye, we on Drink Champs on Revolt TV.
And so, yo, I wanted to play that intro because I gotta call Drink Champs and Revolt out for that because
I felt some kind of way. I know where you're going.
Exactly. Like none of the sound bites that they played was none of the powerful shit that he was saying in that interview. It's like it was edited to make him look crazy.
Again, like he's drunk, he hitting the blunt. This is crazy Kanye talking. He's under the influence. So all that stuff he was saying was because of that. I didn't like that.
Exactly, man. I saw that intro. I'm like, really? Out of all the stuff he was saying, y'all couldn't get no good sound bites?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is what y'all gonna use to promote it.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, it's to diminish everything else that was said in the interview because don't pay this nigga no mind. This nigga crazy. This nigga's unhinged. This nigga, you know, he ain't got it all. We can't really listen to Kanye like that. That's just Kanye being Kanye. Don't pay him no mind.
And Cold-Hearted Revolt is supposed to be a black media outlet. Let's be clear. You know, so when you have a black media outlet, you know, such as Revolt, that will take a soundbite or clips like that to make this man who's been talking about how they tried to make him look crazy, and he clearly isn't. You know what I'm saying? And you still do the very thing that he's been talking about for years. You guys are no different than the other people that try to poison his name when you do stuff like that. And I'm sure his show was your highest numbers. Let's be real.
Absolutely. And through the interview, you caught that Kanye initiated that. You know what I'm saying? He called Nori to come on the show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He knew he had some stuff he wanted to get off his chest, and he could have went anywhere. He's Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? He could have went anywhere. He could have went back to TMZ. You know what I'm saying? And gave them that content. But he said, I'm going to go to my brother's show. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to elevate their platform to talk to my people. You know what I'm saying? So that was a conscious effort on his part. You know what I mean? To give y'all that look.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this is what you're trying to do. Now I ain't saying Nori and effing necessarily calling the shots, but like I said, I'm calling out Drink Champs, Revolt, whoever did that edit. That shit was corny.
Horrible, and they have to be called out. You know, because again, this man has been speaking on that. I believe he spoke sort of on that, you know, on the show. You know, of course, them calling him crazy and all this kind of stuff, and the Miz and Kanye is very, very aware of everything that comes out his mouth. You know, and so you know that part was disappointing to me.
And I'm glad he brought questions to the question of his sanity, because before I was saying he was making a mistake by keep saying, oh, I'm bipolar and I'm on this medication or that medication. I'm like, dude, you giving them the line that they need. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so he kind of reeled that back in his interview by saying, you know, it's a lot of professionals out there that say that might not be true. That diagnosis might not fit me. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm sane than a motherfucker. Right. And I'm better off without the medication. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I was glad he did that. You know, he needed to put more emphasis on that, though, in my opinion. But,
you know what I'm learning too with him, what I'm seeing in him is a little hyper masculinity, you know. And I used to kind of think he was a kind of weenie-ish, you know, goofy, like, you know, he was being run. And I'm liking this energy, like, you know, he like calling stuff out, you know, standing up with his chest out, you know, even when it comes to his family. Right, his marriage or whatever, like I'm still the man, you know what I'm saying? And this is not gonna happen on my watch. Like I loved hearing that. You know, you guys are not gonna, you know, make industry shut me up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing that game with you.
Word.
I loved it.
And since we're talking about Revolt, you know, they had the Revolt Summit here this weekend in Atlanta. I don't know if you saw any of the clip, if you guys saw any of the clips from that, but even with that, I was looking, I actually went searching because, you know, I do content. I'm a content creator. And so, you know, I look for topics that's hot so I could post shit on my page that's relevant to what's going on.
Right.
But I ain't even find no sound bites that I felt like was powerful enough for me to even repost the shit. You know what I mean? Like, and they had some people there who were some good folks. So maybe, possibly there was, and I just didn't see it. But I looked on the Revolt pages. I looked on some of the artists that was there, their pages. And I just didn't really see nothing that was really powerful like that. Like they wasn't really talking about, they was giving some good game as far as like, you know, mental health, as far as like just like motivational shit, like overcoming your situation and going for yours and shit like that. I heard some good stuff as far as that, but with everything that's going on in the world, I ain't hear nobody touch on nothing that's going on politically. You know what I'm saying? With this administration, I ain't hear nothing about what's going on with you know, these mandates and all this stuff. Like nobody wasn't talking about none of that.
They can't, because the thing is, if you're gonna talk about it, you'll have nothing good to say about it, right? Exactly. And most of these people, you know, are shields, you know, for a certain party. And again, that's another thing that I appreciated him calling out. You know, I'm not scared to say, you know, what you guys are afraid to say, because these people kind of got a muzzle on you or got, you know, a string attached to y'all. I'm gonna say it, you know, and unapologetically, and then call the coons out. I loved it. I loved it.
Facts.
Made my day.
Facts, man. And like I said, I saw some good people that attended. You know, shout out to Reza Islam was in the building. I saw David Banner was in the building. 19 Keys. Certain people, but they wasn't speaking. I ain't see them on the stage, and none of the panel speaking. Like they was just there. They paid for their ticket, you know, to rub shoulders or whatever, which is good, so they could possibly bend the ear of some of these people that got these large platforms and get them to say something real, or invite one of them to come on so that they can at least say it. You know what I'm saying? But
that's the thing. Like it's a good look for Revolt to have them there. Let's be clear, because it's like, you know, look, you know, we got the grassroots folks on here. We got, you know, the social media powerhouses on here. We're open, yet you don't have them on the panel though. To speak that truth, that fire. Like,
I think David Banner might have been on one, but I only seen like a real short clip of him speaking. I ain't hear what that panel was about, and if he actually, I know Banner, if he get the mic, he gonna go in. You know what I'm saying?
He gonna speak. Right.
he gonna go in. Like, you know what I mean? Like Kanye is new to this, but Banner, you know, he been
true to this.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I just, you know, I was looking to see if anything powerful was said, but I didn't really see nothing. Shout out to Waka Flocka. Waka Flocka be saying some shit sometimes. He was there. But yeah, that was that. He said, was it me or did Ye sneak this and tell effing that he smashed his chick? Yeah, he did.
Did he? I missed that.
Yeah, the chick from the Uchi Wally video. He was talking about they was in Miami. Yeah, at first I couldn't figure out who they was talking to because it was looking off camera when he was saying, "Oh, was that your chick?" type shit. But it was effing. Yeah, it was effing. And I guess a lot of niggas must have smashed this chick because they said this story been going on for a long time.
Wow.
But yeah, that was funny. That part was funny. All right, let me see.
I didn't even catch that. I was with everything else. I missed that part.
All right, here we go. Next sound bite right here.
6 of them are released now, right?
Wow.
They denied, and it's the same thing, pretty much the same paperwork.
And Kamala created the First Step Act, right?
Okay, hold on.
Kamala created.
You don't like Kamala at all.
Yeah, we are.
You've been going out.
No. Who created the first?
I think Biden. No, it was Biden. I think or Clinton.
No,
Clinton.
No. Trump.
I don't think none of us know what the hell we're talking.
I don't know what
it came out.
I'm just riding with y'all.
It came out.
The first step back is to get people out, right?
Yeah, I think the first step. It started before
Act,
Trump, but it came out. Trump pushed it through, and that's
Trump
when it came out.
pushed through the First Step Act, niggas.
What does that mean?
What it means is stop dick riding fucking Democrats so much they don't do shit for us and be dissing Trump and like they helping us with taxes, like eating, we getting out of jail, we doing all this. This man Trump was like the most favorite white person, and y'all let media make it. We used to use him, and we ain't mention none. We ain't know who none of these people are. We don't know who these people are. We don't know who the mayor of Chicago is. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. This person just came out the blue, and we still killing each other like crazy. You know what I'm saying? All these industry plants and these rappers and this and that. Y'all understand that y'all mentally controlled and used, and you not loved. Y'all just simply like just a ticking, like they just counting on the killings, the deaths, the murders, the vote. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I think I messed up the part, but that was still good though. Because I did want to clear that up what they was talking about with the First Step app, because Effie was actually right. They didn't know what the hell they was talking about. But again, we're not going to always agree with what the hell Kanye is saying, and I definitely don't agree with him defending Trump and trying to put Trump up on a pedestal like he's not the racist that he is. Like, you know what I mean? We know that the Kyle Rittenhouses and all of that stuff is the ones that's at these Trump rallies and, you know, being motivated to do what they do by a lot of his rhetoric. So we're not going to pretend that that's not the case. We're not going to try to say, yeah, the Democrats ain't shit, but the Republicans ain't shit either. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So,
honestly, I don't even think he's necessarily saying that in a nutshell. He's just again calling out. Like he said, everybody was shouting out Trump. Remember, he was in a bunch of artists' albums, you know, photos. Everybody's skinning and grinning with him. Trump was the man. And now when it was not cool, you know, to like him anymore because you were told not to like him. And again, the rhetoric, he ain't touched on that technically, you know, but it's still the point, right?
Yeah.
When someone is doing good, including Trump, the little things that he may have done with policy, then credit him for the policies. We're talking, and we are also talking about a man who does not have on record any policy that has negatively impacted the Black community ever in life. We've known about Trump. Trump been around for 30, 40 years at this point. He has no policies that has negatively impacted the Black community. In fact, he permanently funded HBCUs. He actually sat and talked with you. You know, there was school choice. You know, he did do some things that we could have benefited from. It wasn't solely specific to Black people. Yet we have the person that you guys are shoving down our throat who has a 50-year negative history with policies, procedures that negatively impacted Black people and Black families. And all of a sudden now we have amnesia and they only want to highlight the stupid stuff that Trump said, at a rally.
Just words.
Just words.
That's a fact. That's true. You know what I'm saying? And they was right. Trump is the one that pushed through the First Step Act, and a lot of people did come home from prison based off of that First Step Act. The thing I don't like about that is they always trying to equate us with criminality. Like, what we gonna do something for black people? Okay, it's gonna be prison reform, or it's gonna be,
legalization of marijuana.
Yeah, something that got to do with crime. Like, all black people ain't criminals.
And
you know what I'm saying? You got to be a criminal to benefit from one of y'all policies,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, black people as a whole, black people as a group need tangibles, need policies that's, specific for us, and that's not just the criminal sector. You know what I mean? So I don't like how they do that, because that's still a way of marginalizing us as well.
Absolutely. And also, when we say, policies and stuff, and we also mean in the form of cash payments.
Get that
right? Because enough of because they'll tell us what we have. We gave you Juneteenth. No, that wasn't cash. I can't do nothing with that. Yeah, and that was only approved on the federal level. Some of us work for private industry. Some people work for self. I don't need your permission to celebrate a holiday anyway. Some of us don't celebrate holidays. Where's the tangible benefit in that? We got to get out of that whole symbolism crap.
Facts.
Hey, Jude, thanks for joining us tonight. I see you in the chat.
Who you shouting out?
Apartment 7 podcast. Apartment 107, I'm sorry.
Podcast. Shout out to Apartment 107. That's where I first seen you at. Shout out to Apartment 107. Appreciate you joining us, brother. Got to get you on sometime to chop it up with us, man.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go.
Societies to becoming a part of society and trying to have economical and political and just building our own community back up, But they said it was a game book.
Right. So what made you want to be involved?
Having economic and political freedom. Well, I was involved because all my niggas is GD. Right. We just all folks, and that's how we grew up and But
and what's the opposite? It's GDs and disciples. That's the opposite game.
The opposite is Vivendi.
Did he just say Vivendi? Is that the people who own Universal?
Yes.
Jeez,
we not in the opposite gang at all. GDs and BDs, we all the same. We all on these blocks that we don't own, and we don't have any political say so. And without political say so, you cannot move your people forward. They can put whatever they want in the schools. They can put whatever they want in the food. They can put whatever they want in music. They can put whatever. Go ahead. What is it?
Yeah, man. I think that might have been my favorite part.
Right.
That might have been my favorite part of the interview right there, man. And again, Nori keeps on showing his ignorance. You know what I mean? That was powerful. But Ye said the ops is Vivendi. Nori looking all confused and shit. Ain't that the people that own Universal? You going there? Yeah, right. Yeah, we going there, nigga. Yeah, we going there.
Y'all scared? Y'all scared? That's how he's coming at him.
Yeah, because when I first started it was back a little bit, and Larry Hoover Jr. he was talking about his dad's book. You know what I'm saying? And they was kind of talking about the history with his dad and how he was kind of trying to bring all of the so-called gangs together. You know what I'm saying? And it was really about more of a community development thing. You know what I'm saying? Especially later on after his incarceration, when he started to shift and, call different type of shots. You know what I'm saying? And that's when they really, really shut him down. And they got him in that 23-1 with no contact with nobody else and all of that. Because now, you're trying to use your influence in the wrong way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so they was talking about that. And Kanye said, nah, ain't none of us in no opposite gangs. We all in the same situation. We don't own these blocks. We don't got no political power. We don't got no economic power. We all in the same bottom. You know what I'm saying? So the ops is Vivendi, because they are extracting our natural resource, which is our culture, our music, all of the things that we create naturally. They're extracting that out of our communities and enriching themselves and empowering themselves and keeping us in this goddamn bucket. And they're putting a spotlight on it, like, look, these niggas can't get out the bucket. What's wrong with these niggas?
Right. They weren't ready. I don't think that they were ready. They was expecting Kanye to be on some of that goofy Kanye stuff, and Kanye said, I call you, right? Since he's the one who initiated this whole thing, I'm getting on here and we're gonna speak truth to power. We're gonna talk about our community. We're gonna talk about how we need to get politically mature, as our ancestor Malcolm X said, how we need to, you do need political power. And it's the truth. You really can't, yes, you gotta sometimes step away from the political process, especially if you're not getting anything out of it, but you also need to organize so that you can get back in, so that you can get the power, political power you need for your group, your community, right? And so I think he in there trying to school them, because it makes me wonder, like, do they even know? Like, I don't think they were ready for this at all. They so into the old hip hop, the drinking, the flashiness. I don't think they were ready for this type of mature conversation. And it also, now that you hear it now, I got to put some responsibility on you. They ain't ready for that. We got to hold you accountable too for your part with the community. They're not ready for that.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And I'm glad that he took over the interview the way that he did, because he the one that made the interview, saying what it was. Like, they wasn't really asking good questions to begin with. And then when he would say something powerful, they wasn't doing good follow-up questions or nothing. No. And so he definitely carried it, you know what I'm saying? And
notice when he said something powerful, how they would look at each other. Like, like what do we say? Like, you know what I'm saying? They did not know how to handle this. Like, it was interesting.
And you made a good point about the political say-so too, because somebody had left a comment when I posted that clip, you know what I'm saying? So he said, political say-so. So that means we have to participate. We have to find or create our candidate and Caesar them. I don't think he meant to write Caesar. What he meant to say? I don't know what he meant to say. Caesar them when they go against our collective will. So I guess, we have to be able to have a punishment mechanism in place when they go against what we're saying. And so that's true. But what he was saying is basically in response to our stance when we say withhold the vote. Ain't nobody to vote for. We shouldn't be participating right now. So he's saying, so you posted that clip, Kanye saying we need political power. So that means you saying we need to participate. And so my response was, yes, but withholding the vote is participation as well. Sometimes you got to know when to hold them, and sometimes you got to know when to fold them. And so a lot of people get that thing mistaken as if, us not voting, that means we're not doing anything. But we actually are doing something. You know what I'm saying? You're sending a shockwave through the system that the system is not functioning the way that it's supposed to. And so,
and also the system needs the black vote. We are a powerful voting bloc specifically for the Democrats. Really, if black people decided to vote Republican, it would be huge for them too. So stop taking us for granted. We're huge. We mean something, right?
Yeah, especially if we operate in a block. You know what I'm saying?
In a block.
Strategically though, not just out of tradition and just because. You know what I'm saying?
But my thing is, we've been voting as a block in the wrong way for so long, right? And it hasn't worked for us. So what harm is it gonna do, right, for us in that same block to do something different, right? We're not gonna know unless we get on one accord and do it as a unit. But what we have been doing for the last 60 years at this point, it's not working. And what they say, doing the same thing over and over and over and over, expecting a different result is insanity. We have literally been politically insane at this point.
That's a fact. Some people call that practice.
Right.
Hold on. So we've been practicing for about 50 years.
We got to get in the game now.
All right. Let's go to the next clip. Hold on. Let me see what they talking about in the chat real quick. Take a look in the chat. See what y'all talking about.
Yeah. Okay. 4144 Theory said Trump used to hang out with all these rappers and artists. Yes.
Yeah. Diddy and all of them guys. Yeah. Yeah.
And definitely Nori was definitely looking shook. He kept cutting his eyes at the I don't know, white guy, I guess. When Kanye would say certain things, he would look at him, I guess, hoping that he'll jump in and say the right thing because he didn't know what to say.
And effing is clearly a little bit smarter. You know what I'm saying? Like effing, I could tell he's not completely lost. He might not want to go there and really want to touch on these things. Nori, in my opinion, Nori is lost, man. Nori don't know most of this shit that Kanye is talking about. You know what I'm saying? But effing, I could tell he know what's up, but he like, oh shit. You know what I mean? I didn't know we was going there. Because you know, I'm a culture vulture. So if y'all niggas start waking up and start trying to take y'all power, how I'm gonna eat? You know what I'm saying? How I'm gonna eat? I'm eating off of y'all carcass right now because y'all niggas is dead, and so y'all don't understand y'all power. So that's how I'm able to get elevated within your culture because I can't do nothing in my own culture. My own culture ain't popping like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I'm here.
Exactly.
He goes crazy for it. Like when you said it, you said Yeezy jumped over the jump man. I don't know if you knew what you were saying, but
Jordan still won't meet with me. I'm trying to meet with Michael Jordan. I'm like, man, it was a song, man. But
he took it personal.
No. Michael Jordan said this thing. It's like, why y'all acting like Virgil made me hot? These shoes is hot. Like this. Somebody met with Michael Jordan that used to work with me. But Nike really ain't had shit since the Yeezys. They can't, but they could get it back. You know what I'm saying? There was a period where Drake I couldn't get no traction.
Okay, but let's go for the Red October.
But it was like I was Nike.
Now I wrote down these goddamn timestamps, but I don't know. I don't know because that ain't the part that I thought it was. Hold on, let me see. Let me let him keep going.
And Drake is like Yeezy, a rap. Like I'm Yeezy to what Nike is. And now with Donda, you starting to get some traction back. He put miracles on me. By leaning into that.
And we still wearing Nike socks. It's kind of weird.
Nike, man, but I'm wearing it because I'm not no slave to that. This is my partner. Like, tell me this. Adidas could sign Pharrell or sign Drake or sign Pusha, right? But I can't wear Nike? That's pretty one-sided. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, ain't nobody never think about it like that.
Right.
Because a contract is supposed to be a two-way street. You know what I'm saying? A contract is supposed to protect your interests and my interests. It's not supposed to be all you. You get all the benefits out the contract, and I'm just a slave, like how it actually used to say in the contracts.
Right.
The artist was actually in the contracts as the slave, and that's why they call it. That's why they call it the masters. Whoever owns the actual intellectual property, that's called the masters, and the creator was always the slave. That was actually written in the contracts before. That's why Prince put that on his face.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I did not know that. I mean, I knew the term master. I didn't know that something like, well, obviously it makes sense now that you said it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shout out to DJ RP Beats in the building. RP, what's going on, man? It's my brother right there, spearing the shield.
Hey.
But yeah, nobody never thought about it that way. He said, hold on. So because I remember when Jay-Z had a Reebok deal and he was at one of LeBron James games wearing LeBron sneakers, and that became like a controversy because you signed a Reebok, but you sitting here at the game wearing some Nikes. Right. We're like, so you mean to tell me, I got a contract with you, and y'all could go sign some of my competition? You know what I mean? Y'all could sign Drake, and y'all could do business with all these other artists, but I can't wear Nike?
Right.
I can't.
It makes sense.
Because that's your competition? Right. That don't make no sense. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, he be spitting fast. And honestly, if they didn't think about it, he's sparking a thought. They can, like 44 Theory said, they can play them, but he's sparking the thought. And y'all can play them if you want to. But now that he said it, right, you can't play them anymore.
Facts. All right, keep going, Ye. Because I thought this was the part where he was talking about when he compared himself to Putin. That's the part I was looking for. Let me see.
That's pretty one-sided, especially.
Sorry,
they was losing. They was losing $2 billion there was a $15 billion company losing $2 billion when I got there. Now Yeezy's a $3 billion company and they a $60 billion company. So who got the short end of the stick? How was that engineered? It's not to either we get respect directly from these companies or we do our own thing. But I'm gonna lay them on their back. Gap, Adidas, I run it. I'm Putin. I run it. I'm laying them on their back until they no, because I realized I was like, man, I'm like young Putin until I realized that culture is a form. What you say? No, what's funny?
Your reference to Putin is amazing.
No, it's accurate.
The Russian president.
Yeah. I was like, yo, I'm young Putin until
nigga from Chicago.
Until I realized
from O Block, right?
Yeah, no.
This is you talking about
Vladimir.
Yeah, I used to say I was young Vladimir until I realized I was Vladimir. You know, the moment when I realized that it was when I realized that culture is an oil. Culture.
Indeed. And so he's saying, I'm Putin because I run the culture.
Right.
And the culture is the natural resource that's holding up this entire industry.
Right.
And so just like Putin, who controls all of that oil in that specific strategic region,
right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know exactly where geographically and all that, but he owns a significant amount of oil in a strategic region of the world, which gives Russia their power, you know what I'm saying, throughout the world. So he's saying I have that same type of leverage because look what I did for the Adidas company.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just by putting my name on the shoe, look how their valuation for their company rose up so much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Look what happened to Nike.
He's saying know your worth. He's also telling these people, these other artists, know your worth. While y'all calling me cocky and crazy and stuff, understand I know my worth. And that's why I'm able to get deals the way that I'm getting them, because I know my worth. And they also stand to make money. Like he said, still, who's getting the bigger piece of the pie? Still.
Yeah. Y'all still getting the most money out the situation. And I'm the one that's generating it. So I'm gonna use my leverage to get the max that I can out of this situation.
At least.
You know what I'm saying? Because y'all got the upper hand because y'all got the infrastructure and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got control of the airwaves and the distribution and all of that. My people is not in position. I'm only one person.
Right.
So I can't, one man can't rise above the level of his people. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so he understands that. You know what I'm saying? He's not on that rugged individualism, you know what I'm saying, which has plagued us for so long.
That right now, though.
For real. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, I still, I might be on this level. I might be a billionaire. And I understand, the power that I have with my influence and all of that. But being that my people is not in position, I don't have the systems, you know what I'm saying, to really make this 100% ours. You know what I'm saying? Because, we don't have the distribution centers. We don't have the factories. We don't have the trucks. We don't own the land. Y'all got all that. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all stole it.
Right. We have the ideas, we have the culture. We make all the plays. We make everything hot. So he's like, so why am I supposed to sell myself short to make these people some money?
I think I might mess it up a little bit. I heard 19K say something like this though, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said, black people have the brilliance or the genius, something like that, but white people have the excellence. And the difference is we have the brilliance because we come up with things seemingly out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? We make something out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? But what they do is they put a system in place in order to make that thing valuable. You know what I'm saying? In order to be able to market it and make it available for mass consumption.
Right.
And so we might think of something, we don't even think much of it. You know what I'm saying? Because it just comes so natural to us. You know what I'm saying? Niggas break dancing and spinning on their head and shit. We ain't think much of it. It's just something we do. You know what I'm saying?
And I
but
think
they put systems in place.
We're not thinking power. We're not thinking power. We're just thinking fun, entertainment, and stuff. And so once we get our heads in the right place and start thinking like him as a business, then that will change. You have to think about, when you create something, even if it is a dance, like a lot of these TikTok stars, if you notice, right? They will create these dances and then you'll have a bunch of white kids, start doing it and then they make it hot. And then these black kids get no credit for it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. We got to learn how to own what we do and make sure that we're pushing ourselves out there to monetize it or, patent it, something because that's what they do. They see it and then they jump on top of it and then they claim it as their own.
Well, listen, we must be doing something good on Sincere Love the Godcast. We must be growing at a very rapid pace because I believe we have our first white supremacist troll in the building. Shout out to our first white supremacist troll in the building. What's going on, Kamala? That's probably Kyle behind that, you know, with no picture or nothing. What's going on? Don't block him, Jackson. Don't block him. Let him hang out. He all right. He all right. We got a little suspected white supremacist in the building. Shout out to the white supremacists. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this out on your white supremacist platform.
And hit those cash apps too while you at it. Hit the cash apps.
Yeah. You see the cash app going across the bottom. You know, y'all owe us anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? So pay them reparations. We gonna get into the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. We ain't even talk about it yet. You already mad.
Right. It's coming.
We ain't even talk about it yet. Chill out. We talking about the God right now. We talking about the God right now. Just be easy. All right, hold on. Keep going. Keep going, yeah.
It's an energy, and I'm the king of culture for the past 20 and the next 2,000 years.
I gotta ask you this one question.
It's like I love everyone. You get what I'm saying? Everything is equal. I'm not a black person in America can't be labeled with something against another minority. Mm-hmm. I think that's unfair, and it's not even really about anti-Semitic. It's not a matter of you hate Jews. No, it's a matter of control. Mm. It's a matter of the fact that blacks work for Jews, Jewish people, and blacks are Jews.
Mm. And so he right there again. He's showing a level of bravery. He's showing another level of bravery right there. You just seen what happened, 2 years ago with Nick Cannon by saying something similar?
That wasn't even 2 years ago, was it? Last year? Early this year? Something like that?
It might have been last year. It might have been last year. It might have been last year. But yeah, we just seen what happened with Nick Cannon where he said something similar, right? They broke him. I still like Nick a little bit. I do. I ain't gonna front. I like Nick. But we seen what happened. You know, they made him get all the way off his square.
Right.
They made him get all the way off his square by saying something simple, and it's just true. He's talking about how they weaponized the term anti-Semitic. You know what I'm saying? If you say anything about them, I remember LeBron had put up a quote from a 21 Savage song.
I remember that last year.
The only thing 21 Savage said was, "We've been getting Jewish money. Everything is kosher."
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be hate. LeBron had to apologize and take that down. You know what I'm saying? So you can't even say nothing about them.
You can nigga all day. You can say shoot a nigga, smoke a nigga. I'ma shoot the nigga mama. I'ma rape his daughter. Nigga all day. That is fine. All day.
And they own the companies that promote this shit. They own the radio stations, the record companies. All of the whole infrastructure that's in place to push this shit is owned by them. They can own the media.
Right.
You're not even allowed to say that. You know what I'm saying? We gotta say small hats. You know what I mean? Because they might take the video down.
Right.
We gotta codify our language when we talking about them. You know what I'm saying? But again, I gotta give a shout out to Ye, man, because he's not scared to say what it is.
Okay, so this Kamala person says, funny thing is he didn't even kill any black people, and you guys are labeling him a white supremacist. Yeah, you are diluting this term, and it should only be used for actual racists.
Yeah, we're not going to let you determine what racism is and what racism ain't.
Right.
You know, we're going to define these things for ourselves. But don't worry, we're going to get into that. Hang out. Just hang out. We're going to get into all that. Save your comments. Because if you think you're pissed off now, wait until later on in the show.
Just wait. You got another clip coming?
Hold on. And so, yeah, we talked about that a little bit last week. I didn't even have it on the screen?
No, it wasn't up. That's why I was like, you got another clip coming?
My bad.
No, it ain't come back.
I thought it was playing. Hold on. Let me bring that back a little bit. You can see it now, right?
Yeah.
All right, let me back it up a little bit.
You hate Jews? No, it's a matter of control. It's a matter of the fact that blacks work for Jews, Jewish people, and blacks are Jews. Blacks are blood of Christ. Blacks are Hebrews, the 12 lost tribes of Jews, and that we don't know this. And it's like,
yeah. So we talked about that a little bit last week too. We was like, yo, is Kanye, is he a Hebrew Israelite or what?
Right.
Again, obviously, oh, my bad. Obviously, he been talking to somebody. A lot of these rappers, it seemed like, been dealing with some Hebrew Israelite stuff. My man Kendrick Lamar, Kanye West, somebody else. I think, well, Waka be kind of all over the place. So I think he dipping and dabbing in a few different schools of thought. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. He said Jewish.
Right.
I don't want to mess
that
your
was
name
a bar
up.
right there. That was a whole bar right there.
I don't want to mess your name up. How you say that?
Oh,
Samachia. Samachia. Tell us how to say your name, sis. Write the pronunciation in the chat, please. But yeah, appreciate you joining us. But yeah, man, I think when it comes to the whole Hebrew Israelite thing, I think if you come from a background of religion, Christianity in particular, and you were raised in that, in the church and heavy in the Bible and all of that stuff, and then you're kind of coming into consciousness, I think that's when that the information that you get from the Hebrewites is going to hit you the most, because it's dealing with the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? The problem is, and I don't want to get too heavy with the religious stuff and all that, but to me, the problem is that people look at the scriptures as if they're reading a history book and as if it's supposed to be taken literal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's facts what he's saying. We the real Jews and all that, meaning those scriptures are referring to us, but you just have to understand that this is a book of prophecy. You know what I'm saying? They're not talking about something that happened way back then. They're talking about what's going on right now.
Right.
You got to know how to decode those scriptures. Maki Machia. I still don't know if I'm saying it right. Go ahead, you try it. Maki Machi.
But what is?
Hold on, let me go back to it.
Simaki Machi? No, that's not it.
We messing your name up. I apologize, beloved. I apologize, beloved. Blame it on the brain, not the heart. But we definitely appreciate you being here with us and giving the good feedback.
Oh, and all that. Samakia. I got it.
Samakia. Okay, that sounds like Japanese or something.
Beautiful.
Okay, Samakia. That's how you say it. Okay, that's what's up. But yeah, I ain't trying to get too heavy with the religious stuff. People got their own beliefs or whatever the case may be. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm fine with people believing whatever it is that they want to believe when it comes to that stuff. But as long as you're on code with black empowerment, you know what I'm saying? Long as you ain't a Christian first, or a Hebrew Israelite first, or whatever it is that as long as you black first, then that's what's up. Oh, that's a Hebrew name. Okay, so you came right on time.
Right on time.
Welcome. We appreciate you. So if you were in a position of power,
how would you help American Americans?
He probably meant African Americans.
Well, we're not African.
He probably meant African Americans. Well, I am in a position of power, and I am helping the so-called African Americans.
Right.
I'm already doing it
for a long time, since the 60s.
I'm already doing it. But since you belong to the dominant society and y'all are in a position of power, what are you gonna do to help the so-called African Americans? You got all the power. Y'all niggas own and control everything. What you gonna do? Since you're so concerned. I got it. I understood what you were saying. But what you gonna do since you're so concerned about it? Why don't you give us some intel or something?
Right.
That's what we could use.
Stop worrying about what we gonna do. Tell us what y'all gonna do.
Okay, so that went to that part. All right, let me fast forward this a little bit. Boom. Right about here. Can you see it? Is it on the screen?
Nope.
All right, let me share it again. All right, just a reminder, everybody, make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the share button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you can be reminded whenever we go live with new content. And remember, for the rest of this month, we got the Black Business Showcase Wednesday and Thursday evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And for those of y'all who are new here that don't know what the Black Business Showcase is, that's our weekly series where we bring on different business owners and entrepreneurs and talk with them about their journey into entrepreneurship and what it takes to start a business, run a business. And we got a lot of good folks coming on from different industries and stuff, giving some good information about, you know, how we can all better ourselves financially, you know what I'm saying, and become more independent and free from, you know, these systems that keep us in the position that we've been in for this amount of time. So yeah, make sure y'all tune in. That's Wednesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. All right. I know. You always say Pacific Time first, but you know I'm on the East Coast.
I know you do. That's okay.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
And so you say you're not really from there?
Not at all. I was using.
Oh shit!
Oh, that was funny too. He was still getting that Kweli in there. He was talking about how he never really was part of the whole backpack rapper community and all that. He was kind of using that to get his foot in the door because he didn't really have no street cred like that, and so he knew he couldn't come out as a gangster rapper or nothing like that. But he was clowning Kweli. I just thought that was funny.
And he well needed.
No, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
That's over honest.
I apologize once again to Kweli. I'm sorry. I never fucked with your raps.
When we recently seen you with Dave Chappelle, y'all was all hanging out. Was Tyler there?
All right, here we go.
Shit, I did just see that nigga. I totally forgot. Oh man, nah, I'm really gonna have to fight this man.
Oh my god.
There's gonna be 10 niggas with fitted caps from 12 years ago chasing me.
The fitted caps, he's not in the go.
What you saw? I've never been this. But you did see Chappelle after.
All right, I started a little early. My bad, y'all. But here go the part right here where he's talking about Dave Chappelle.
Chappelle's controversy, because obviously you heard about the controversy. They really trying to cancel that.
Man, if they don't get the fuck up out of here, bro, it's like, man, bro, what cancel what? What cancel? What we canceling out here? Mm-hmm. It was the Stranger Things commercial where Dave Chappelle was in it. I don't know if you saw it, but the girl was like blowing people through the wall and shit or something like that. Maybe that's the wrong terminology. This girl was using her mind to telekinetically push people through air. And Dave Chappelle jumps out. He says, do me. Man, enough of this shit already, boy. Y'all just wait till someone ain't affecting the stock and y'all just take them out one by one to impose fear on anybody with freedom of thought. Well, I smack the shit out you when I see. Don't tell me what the fuck to do ever in your life, boy. None of y'all Hollywood plant-ass niggas tell none of us what we do. This our culture now. It's up. You can't cancel none of us. It's up, boy. And all of y'all scared niggas that's running around doing what these Hollywood niggas telling you to do. Fuck y'all, man. It's up. Y'all either is about our culture that we grew up about, or you about yourself. Selfish, scared ass house niggas.
Woo!
Man. I just love that fucking energy.
Woo!
Oh man, he said so much.
Whoa, I mean, let's unpack it. Whoa.
I might have to run a little bit back and just pause in
Right.
between the parts,
Right.
man. You know, because he's talking about the industry plants.
The
You know what I
industry
mean?
plants. Whoa.
You know, y'all can't cancel us. You know what I mean? Hold on.
Up, boy.
All right, just a little bit.
And all of y'all Hollywood plant ass niggas tell none of us what we do. This our.
All right, so let's just talk about that real quick. The Hollywood plants, right? Because that's stuff that we talk about in the grassroots. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. In New Black Media, we be talking about how they be planting people into the industry as ops, into the protest, into the music industry, into the movie industry. They be having people planted in there to push their agenda, to cause confusion, to deter the conversations. Whenever we trying to talk about something important, they put these on people on large platforms to change the topic. Right. You know what I'm saying? And we're called conspiracy theorists when we talk about stuff like that. Right. Whenever we point something out like that, oh, y'all niggas on that Hotep shit. Right. But this is now we getting this from somebody who's on the inside. Inside. I'm just saying. He talked about, he said, come on, my wife is the most famous woman on the planet. You think she don't got people planted around her, putting shit in her ear, the maids and the assistants and all these people? We don't know them.
Right. And he called them out by name later on in the show. You know? So yeah, I mean, that industry plant thing, I was just like, save that, call it out. I wanted him to say a name at that point because I was just like, bro, you know, while y'all over here calling me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, I'm letting y'all know that I'm very well aware of what's around me and what's going on. I see you.
Absolutely. Okay, all right, keep going, Ye. What else you said here? You said some shit, my nigga.
Coaching now. It's up. You can't cancel none of us. It's up, boy. And all of y'all.
And so that's what I'm saying, man. These niggas got to stop being scared, man. The thing I don't understand about people who are already like super famous, like you already done made it. You done already made a bag. You don't. Everybody already know your name. You don't really need these people anymore, especially with technology that's available now. You could literally like just imagine Drake. Drake probably the biggest artist in the world. You know what I'm saying? And I know, you know, Drake ain't on no shit like this, but I'm just saying Drake as an example. He out of his contract now. I think that was his last album. Let's say he decided not to sign another contract with nobody, and tomorrow this nigga go on Twitter and say album dropping on Friday, and he just do the same thing I do when I put out my album. Pay $50 to post it on every platform. You know how much money he gonna make? Right. How you gonna cancel that?
You can't, because his core following is gonna follow him wherever he go and whatever he do. Period. They ain't going nowhere just because he decided not to resign. We going wherever you at. We love you that much. Why don't they think like that though? Why do they feel? Well, I guess because the label is doing all the advancing. But like you said, once you've gotten the bag, at this point you can invest in yourself. You still don't need them.
Oh wait, my bad. I'm all caught up in the comments. 4144. That's your girl, Samachia. Let me find out. That's your boo. Shout out to Black Love if that is. Right. I think that's what you said. I appreciate you inviting her on in, man. But elaborate on what you're saying about the Jordan Peele Us movie. I don't know what you was referencing when you mentioned the Jordan Peele Us movie.
Maybe she's just saying Get Out. You know, just the title of the movie, Get Out. Get Out.
No, she's talking about the movie Us. She's talking about the movie Us, the one that had the tethers. The horror movie when they had the people living underground. I ain't even watch it, but you know, I heard a lot about that movie.
Well, I haven't seen that one either. Oh, I was thinking of Get Out. I haven't seen Us yet, I don't think.
Yeah. She referenced the movie Us. But yeah, elaborate what you meant by that. We respect Dave Chappelle.
Absolutely. 100%.
We respect Dave Chappelle, you know what I'm saying? He's a brilliant artist. Right. And he's not afraid to speak his mind. He's not worried about getting canceled. He's a free thinker. And that's what we respect. We don't got to agree with everything that everybody say or you know, some of the stances that people take and all of that. But I respect people that is not afraid to stand up for what it is that they believe in and say what it is that they got to say. Use their platform to really do art. You can't be an artist if you're afraid to speak from the heart and speak your mind. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just a fan of great art. You can't be a great artist if you're being controlled by niggas in the suits telling you can't, what you can and can't say, and you being controlled by the white LGBT community and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You can't be an artist.
Just like with this, you know, Karen that just jumped on the stage with what's his name, Efron. A couple of days ago, it's kind of circulating on social media talking about, you know, his comedy, you know, is wrong and all this stuff. She literally hopped on the stage, you know, and I was still also wondering why security didn't tackle her.
Because that's a white woman. You crazy?
Right.
You crazy? I think Samachia is decoding the titles of Jordan Peele movies.
Right.
She said we need to get us out of Antebellum. Did he do Antebellum too? Was that Jordan Peele?
And I saw that movie.
I haven't watched that either, but I heard a lot about it. I heard that was really good too.
It was.
We need to get us out of Antebellum. Should put that together.
That's right, because respect the free thinker. And, you know, I hear people kind of criticize that. They think that, you know, they want to use people that say they're free thinkers are people that are still trying to align with a certain group. You know, and to me, a free thinker is one that not necessarily trying to align with a
some people do that.
It's common sense. It's just thinking with common sense. It's meaning that I'm not allowing other people to think for me and pick and choose what's best for my life and my family, etc. You know, or even my people. You know, we haven't been free thinkers for a long time because, you know, we've been in this box at the bottom, you know, and allowing for so many years other groups to come over and stand on our shoulders when we don't even have. We're not even in a position to do it, but we've allowed ourselves to not think critically, right? And allow them to come in and tell us that we're wrong or we're divisive or we're selfish because we don't want to put ourselves again at the back of the line to allow other groups to come over and benefit off of what we barely benefit off of. You know, we're barely getting the crumbs off the table, you know, so as free thinkers, now that we're saying we're thinking for ourselves, you know, we're going to strategize and maybe withhold our votes, you know, so that we can vote as a block, you know, support Black businesses more, you know, certain things like that. That's critical thinking to me. That's thinking for self because that's not promoted in our community at all.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I agree with that. And but I do think that some of the criticism is valid because certain people try to use that term as a shield for their cooning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the Candace Owens of the world and all of these blacks for Trump and those type of people, they'll try to shield themselves with the term free thinking. You know what I'm saying? But really, you just doing plain old cooning.
That's all.
Plain old cooning.
And then you still are trying to, you know, push your people to align with another side, you know, that still isn't doing anything for Black people. And when we're talking on this show, we're talking specifically for Black people. Let's keep that 100. You know, our message is for the Black masses that are Black first.
Facts. Unapologetically. Might I add.
Right.
Let me see. There was one more part, but let me see if it was finished right here. Boom.
Y'all scared niggas that's running around doing what these Hollywood niggas telling you to do. Fuck y'all, man. It's up. Y'all either is about our culture that we grew up about, or you about yourself. Selfish, scared ass house niggas.
And that's the part I love too, because he talking about getting rid of that culture of rugged individualism. Just because you getting a few crumbs, racism don't exist. Like, you know what I'm saying? When Lil Wayne said that bullshit, you know what I mean? Oh, I see a lot of white people at my shows. What racism?
Right.
Just because white people show up to your shows, now all of a sudden ain't no racism. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man. Like I said earlier, you cannot rise above the condition of your people. You know what I'm saying? Right. You gotta be about the group. Everybody else plays as a team.
Right.
Everybody else plays as a team. You know what I'm saying? This is not an individual sport.
Right. And that's the message that he's trying to bring forth on this show. If people, get out, the fact that it's Kanye speaking it, because if Jay-Z came on here and said the exact same thing, the exact same way, everybody would be like, see, Jay-Z on that unity. Jay-Z saying we be one. You know what I'm saying? But because it's coming from his mouth, you can't think freely anymore. You can't be a critical thinker anymore because it's not coming from the mouth of your favorite. Also, kind of ties into Ice Cube. They call him a sellout because he was saying we need to get something for our vote, y'all. This might be our only opportunity. Blah blah blah. We got to do this. I wrote up this plan. I got Dr. Claude. I got all these people because we need something. It's our time. You a sellout, huh? What? How? When?
Facts. Right, that shit don't make no sense. That's like a not even a good one, but it's a Jedi mind trick. It's like a bootleg Jedi mind trick. That's not even a good one. Like, ain't nobody going for that. What you talking about? That shit sounds stupid as hell.
And I still say an apology is old.
Look, I knew it. I swear. Hold on, my bad. I swear, I knew Jackson Harlem was gonna like this comment right here. I knew Jackson Harlem was gonna be amen in this one. Hey, y'all sound the same. Y'all sound the same. Jackson Harlem, that's your lost sister over there. You know what I mean? But nah, that's real. That's real though. You know what I mean? We are like my sister Vicky Dillard always says, we are more than what meets the eye.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Can't just be caught up in the three-dimensional world. You know what I mean? This war is taking place on all platforms. This war is taking place on all platforms. So yeah, we gotta come at them all, the same way they're coming at us. Spiritually, physically, metaphysically, all that.
And stop letting other people think for us as well. Like, who knows what the Black community need more than the Black community? You know what I'm saying? We know exactly what we need. I guess we just got to get out of this, matrix that we're in, thinking that someone is going to come after all these years of not, keeping their promises, change their mind all of a sudden. You have to make them do it.
Absolutely. All right, let me get up this last sound bite. I would definitely be remiss if I ain't play this. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Right about somewhere around here. All right, here we go.
Yeah, man, fuck out of here. Y'all need to give me the proper fucking, I want to be hung over a motherfucking doorknob and killed, and y'all say that I fucking went crazy and got doped out, but y'all gonna stop fucking with me and stop fucking with Cube and stop fucking with Dave Chappelle and anybody that's Black in a position of power that got an opinion. Y'all gonna stop fucking with us. Come and get me. My nigga, come and get me. I do it. Nobody else. Me. Come and get me. I like Trump. Yeah, I said it. I'm rocking with Trump. I'm never voting Democrat till y'all actually do something that changes something. Now, when we come together and vote as a block, like Dr. Claude Anderson said, the Democrats, they're going to be forced to do it. They ain't going to just give it to us. China ain't going to just give it to us. They're going to hand it to us. They'll just show you somebody that look like us and get 94% of the Black vote, and we just give it to them. We're just so happy just to see somebody that we think is us. That we think like, Common don't know her daddy or Black daddy like that. Y'all ain't do no research on this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, this is good for your daughters. No, it's not. North ain't finna be rolling with that. And if they took me out right after this, bet you North run it after this interview.
Man, that's right. That's right, man. You know what I mean? Man. Shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson. Like, who talking like that?
It makes you wonder if he listens to Black media, one. But the stuff that he was saying is just like, I'm just saying I want to stand up and almost do like the holy dance at this point, because it needed to be said, and it needed to be said on someone with a platform as large as his, because obviously nobody else was willing to do it.
Absolutely, man. I'm glad he gave Dr. Claude Edison that shout out right
His
there.
father.
And I remember because he had tweeted a couple years ago, maybe last year. I think everything was a couple years ago, but sometime back on Twitter, he was tweeting about Powernomics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I know he was talking behind the scenes with Dr. Boyce Watkins, and he was actually meeting up with Dr. Anderson. Like they was having meetings with Dr. Anderson. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad he's actually, again, bringing it to the forefront and not just trying to keep it behind closed doors. Like he was saying at another point in this interview, he was talking about how, you know, Jay-Z and certain other people, even though they don't speak forcefully like him, they trying to make moves behind the scenes and in the background. We don't want to be nobody's dirty little secret, man.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to be behind closed doors. You know, you're not gonna get black empowerment trying to tiptoe around the issue, man. We gotta face the shit head on. Just speak truth to power. Like, nigga, you already a billionaire. What you creeping for?
Why are you hiding? And why are you scared to speak?
You know what I'm saying?
Why are you so scared to speak? You made it.
These people are wise. They didn't get into the position that they in because they're idiots. So don't think you outsmarting them somehow. You doing some type of Machiavellian, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's not what you're doing, Jay-Z. I'm sorry.
Right.
My nigga.
Just say it.
You know
Just say it. Right. Don't say it. You know
what I mean? That's not what you're doing, Jay-Z. You're not slick. You're not, you know, I'm gonna be the spook that sat behind the door. Nah, no, you ain't, bro. Either you
not with the moves you making.
Yeah, like nah, because you getting the wrong intel, bro. You calling up Tamika Mallory and Charlamagne to see what the play is. Nah.
He's one of those pull yourself up by your bootstraps Negroes, I believe.
Man.
He's one of those. I mean, you think about it. You know, think about how I look at Meek, you know, talk hollering and whining right now about never getting paid any money, you know, off whatever contract he signed. How? You've been around for quite some time. How you not making no money?
All right, we about to get into this. My man is getting anxious here. This is true, but what does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
Right.
This is true. Okay, we're human beings. That's basically what you're saying. We're all human beings. We look a little different. You know, our hair texture is different. But there is certain things that are different about us. But you know, I ain't even going to really get into all of that just for the sake of conversation. But what's your point? You saying that to say what? You saying that to say what? Because right now we're speaking about power dynamic. You know what I'm saying? So there's that difference right there. There's that difference. White people own all the important lands. They control all the important industries and
resources.
They make up all the rules and the laws, and you know, and black people don't. So that's the difference right there. That's the difference right there. So yeah, it's a social construct, but it exists.
So what you gonna do about it? How you gonna galvanize your people to make sure that those things get changed and that resources are the distributed resources are distributed properly? What you gonna do?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna get into that, Jackson. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was thinking. I was thinking along those lines as well, but I was like, I ain't even gonna
Jackson be on fire.
Get that deep. Yeah, I don't even get that deep about it. But Jackson is absolutely right, though. Jackson is absolutely right. That carbon ain't nothing to play with. Right. You know what I mean? It ain't just we a little darker. We just got a tan and we all the same. No, we got connections. We got connections to other realms that y'all just don't. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just, oh, we could dance and y'all can't. No, there's science behind all that. You know what I'm saying? It's science behind all that. So yeah, there are some differences, brother. You know what I mean? I'm going, you know. But again, let's talk about this bogus Kyle Rittenhouse trial, man. Right. You know what I mean? That was my last clip I had to play from Kanye, man. When he shouted out Dr. Claude, man. It made me proud. And so yeah, man, y'all been watching this farce of a trial they got going on with Kyle Rittenhouse out there in Kenosha?
I've been in and out of it, looking at it, you know, during the week, of course. Most of it that I see is on social, but I have been kind of looking at it while working. Boy, And what's his name? Jason Black did a good show. I actually listened to it, not all of it, but a little bit of it this morning. And I mean, how he just pretty much highlighted, the effery that's going on in the courtroom. The judge. My thing is, and I don't know because obviously I'm not in law, but the things that he's doing and almost acting as if he's the defense attorney, can they not request that he be removed mid trial? Like, what is up with that? I've never heard of this before.
I mean, it's unheard of. It's unprecedented. At least, or it probably happens all the time in these courtrooms, but not on a big stage like this. You know what I'm saying? Where you're absolutely right. The judge is playing defense attorney, man. He's not even trying to put no shade on it. He's not trying to pretend. He's like, listen, this my grandson right here, and I'm gonna do everything I can.
My nephew, something.
I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that this young man walks.
Right, and it's not. He's just on code, and I know what was that? Kamala made a comment like, why is he racist? He killed, 2 white people, blah, blah, blah. It's not about, who he killed at this point. It's about the system that's protecting him when he did. There's no way a 17-year-old Black child would have been able to cross from another state and freely walk around with an AR-15 and point it at nobody. So let's understand that it is actually about race because he was allowed because of his race to do that. I also think that this man, I ain't gonna call him no boy, this man was groomed specifically for this. I think that it was all a setup, you know what I'm saying? In the first place, they planned to pick somebody off. It happened to be the 2 people that he picked off, but it's a bit deeper, because the hand gestures that he was doing with the police officers that night. And I remember watching this stuff live, kind of, everybody was pretty much engaged in it that night. And, the hand gestures communicating with police officers, he was allowed to do that, whereas a Black child would not have been able to come over there and say, I'm protecting property.
Absolutely. And I mean, even on a fundamental aspect, it's still about race because he was really going out there to target Black folks, and the protest was about the murder of someone that was Black. You know what I'm saying? And he was talking about, how he wished he had his AR prior to when he actually did the mass shooting. He's talking about how he wished he had his AR because he was going to kill people that he thought were shoplifting or whatever he was thinking at that time. But also, it's a tradition of white supremacy to punish white people that get off code. And so the white folks that did end up getting killed were protesting the unjust murder of a Black person. So in the mind of a white extremist, this person is off code, and that's how they keep white people on code with punishment mechanisms.
Right.
That's why more white people, so-called good white people, or non-racist white people, don't really stand up for Black people like that, because they know that there's consequences for that. There's consequences for getting off code. Right. And that's another reason why it's important for them to let him get off on this, because that sends a message to white people who's getting off code and trying to stand up for justice and all of that with Black people. That sends a message to them that you will be allowed to be murdered with impunity as well. We'll treat you just like a nigga. You want to be a nigga lover? We'll treat you just like we treat the niggas.
And they've been doing that since the beginning. They've been doing that since the beginning of time. That's not nothing new. This isn't just thought. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that if my memory serves me right as well, a friend of his purchased the gun for him. He's not at the legal age to purchase a firearm. So why wasn't this friend arrested? Right? Because isn't that like a federal crime to purchase a firearm and illegally give it to a minor?
Wasn't it his mother though?
I thought that they said he said something about a friend of his that purchased the firearm. He never mentioned his mom because they did speak about that on the stand. Okay. And it was a friend of his that purchased the firearm for him. And where's his father?
I thought it was his mom. I know his mom was the one that drove him there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And where's his father? Because quickly, they start talking about black boys that were born in single family households and stuff. We ain't seen nothing about his daddy.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Why are we talking about his single mama looking like what's his name? What's that comedian?
Boo Boo.
Honey Boo Boo, that
Honey
little
Boo Boo.
girl, and that other comedian that was on Coming to America at McDonald's. What was his? Louis Anderson. Louis Anderson.
Yo, and somebody said she 38 years old or something like that.
Somebody lying. Somebody lying.
So there is a difference between white people and black people.
Absolutely.
Kamala,
right?
There's a difference between white people because
black don't crack.
Don't make me put a picture of my mama up right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Don't make me put a picture of my mama up because if that's what 38 looked like, Lord Jesus.
Absolutely. 41, 44. His mom should absolutely be on trial as well because she drove him there with a firearm. You're underage. That whole I'm going hunting crap was a lie.
Yeah, man.
Hunting where? Hunting people?
And then what about when he made bail and he was hanging out at the bars with the Proud Boys and taking pictures and throwing up white supremacist hand signals with the shirt on, talking about free as fuck and all of that. You know what I mean? He was being celebrated by his white supremacist peers,
right?
And he was underage at a bar drinking, and nobody, don't pick
so
that.
What says you, Kamala? What about this underage white boy at a bar drinking liquor, and that bar has not been shut down? They didn't lose their liquor license. We haven't heard of them being fined. None of that. So what the difference is privilege, right? There's a thing called white privilege that he's allowed to have that we're not.
Yeah. Okay. And
we have another one here.
I think one of his homies pulled up. Shout out to the white supremacists in the building tonight. Matt Thacker.
Welcome.
Matt Thacker. I think Matt Thacker used his real name though. You know what I'm saying? He didn't put up no picture, but I think he used his real name. Or that could be a made up name too. I don't know. But he says Kyle shot a rapist in his junk, a burglar in his arm, and a white strangler in the lung. God is amazing. Well, and so I heard what's the name kind of make this point too. The sister that does the ass show.
God. Angela.
Yeah, Angela Stanton. Angela Stanton. She said something like, if black people riot over 2 child molesters getting shot or something like that, I'm done with the black community. Something like that. Paraphrasing. Now, my thing is, it's not about who he shot though.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's about injustice being carried out and precedents being set that's going to affect us in a negative way.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? It's not about rioting over who got shot. It's not about them. Mm-hmm. It's about what we see taking place in the so-called justice system.
Right. It has zero to do with that. Now, I do agree with her in the sense that whether he gets convicted or not, which it looks like the wind is blowing in his favor, he will not be. I don't think that we need to be out in the street. I don't, because that is another reason and way for them to start picking black people off. Because now if he walks, they're setting another precedent. It's okay. So come up here and start picking niggas off now, right? Because you thought that they were going to loot. You thought you were here to protect businesses. I don't think that we need to be out there.
Right. And that's a good point too, because this is also about normalizing being able to shoot and kill protesters, right? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Because all of these uprisings that have been taking place, it's been getting more and more intense. And they've been trying to make laws down there in Florida. They were talking about you can run people over and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to, make it okay to harm protesters. You know what I mean? Which is supposed to be your constitutional right to protest peacefully. But they're trying to make it so that you can harm people who are disrupting the status quo.
Right. All right, Matt. So under Wisconsin law, those that are 18 to 20 can legally drink with a parent or guardian or spouse that is of legal drinking age. He was not 18. Let's go start there. So your comment is null and void at this point. He's 17. Next.
Okay. Thanks for the information on Wisconsin law though. Appreciate it.
Absolutely,
So,
J-Tuff. If he's out in the street, he will do it again with no repercussions. Exactly.
I think Matt might be Kamala. I think that probably might be the same
They
person
get
that
two
just
accounts.
switched to another account. But whichever one you are, Matt and Kamala, either or. Why is it so important to you that he gets acquitted on this? Why is that
Right.
important to you? People under 18 is the age the law that does.
You know,
Because
because my thing is too, you like when they want to pick and choose with people who have been rehabilitated, right? Because we can name a lot of people, even in the entertainment industry, that are known pedophiles and everything else that you guys celebrate, still support, etc. But now that these two individuals that died at the hands of this you know little boy or man, I ain't gonna call him a little boy, this man, you guys want to throw the fact that they went to jail for pedophilia or whatever the case, one was a wife beater, that's her story.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know that to be true, to be honest.
And
doesn't make it right.
Is death the penalty for that though? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And is he the judge, jury, and prosecutor? Does he get to
Right.
decide, you know what I'm saying, people's fate based off of the crimes that they've committed? You know what I'm saying? If a lot of violence that goes on in the hood, people that get shot and killed in the hood, they got criminal records as well. But the person that shot and killed them is still going to jail.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna say, "Oh well, he deserved it because he had a criminal background." That don't make no sense.
Kyle was defending himself from Antifa and Black Lives Matter thugs who were trying to kill him. This was self-defense. If that's what you want to call it, you're entitled to your opinion, but we saw otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, that ain't even no opinion. That's just a lie. That's just an I'm
Right.
black, I say so lie. You can't be defending yourself when you went to the drama. You know what I'm saying?
I would like to know if Kyle had black skin, and killed two white men or three, however many it was, would you guys feel the same way? Would you call that self-defense?
Would you be in my chat room right now defending him?
Right now defending him, talking about he was defending himself against Antifa and Black Lives Matter? I doubt it. There's actually a young mixed race kid in was that, I want to say Georgia, who was defending himself against some racists and shot them. And guess what? He's on trial right now. Where's that energy?
I guess they went. I guess they went into one of their white supremacist chat rooms and invited some more people over.
Great, bring them on, but make sure that you guys also like, share, and also donate to this Cash App while you're here.
All right, tell me if this is legal, white supremacists. Right. Y'all are our guests for the evening. Tell me if this is legal, or are our eyes deceiving us, or what?
Right. Pay attention.
Now listen to this exchange and watch the defense attorney. When you see the camera shift, watch.
Hold on.
To the side of you.
Hold on a second. By the way, shout out to Jason Black for this expose right here. Shout out to the Black Authority.
Correct? Yes. He's reaching in with his left arm towards you. Correct?
Yes.
He never steps back and puts the gun in both hands in a ready aim position towards you, does he?
He doesn't do that.
He never takes that gun with his right hand and stands there and holds it out with his right hand in front of him and aims it directly at you, does he?
No, he does this, pointing it directly at my head.
And you thought that's the way he was going to shoot you?
Yeah.
You thought...
Did you see that?
Right.
Did you see what the defense attorney just did? Gonna try to back this up a little bit. Watch the defense attorney's face. Look at the defense attorney's lips.
Pointing it directly at my head.
And you thought that's the way he was going to shoot you?
Yeah.
You thought he ran up close.
Did you see the defense attorney? He mouths the words, yeah, and nods his head. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit so that you all can see the defense attorney's lips and take a look at what he's saying. I want you to see this. And you tell me, is this legal?
Pointing it directly at my head.
And you thought that's the way he was going to shoot you?
Yeah.
You thought he ran up close to you to shoot you?
Yes.
Now, you notice that first yes that Rittenhouse gave was real remedial and real, real timid. But notice the second yes was very confident. So take a look at the attorney. Take a look at his head gestures before Rittenhouse is even responding.
Pointing it directly at my head.
And you thought that's the way he was going to shoot you?
Yeah.
You thought he ran up close to you to shoot?
Now, you all tell me.
See somebody that we.
So, I mean, are we seeing things?
No, but Mr. Geraldo says that this is just another angry black channel that simply hates whites. There's nothing to see here. Goodbye.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace. If we want to see justice, that means we hate white people, I guess.
Yeah. Wanting to see fairness in the judicial system that we're not afforded, that makes us hate another group. Makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, we ain't say nothing bad about white people yet in here. We speaking about a system of white supremacy that benefits white people. You know what I'm saying? But hey, whatever.
And calling them looters and stuff like that, even if that was the case, should they be arrested perhaps? Fined for damages, etc. Maybe, but a death sentence? No, absolutely not. And mind you, I know for sure one of the gentlemen that he murdered was not armed. The second one was armed and still did not attempt to shoot him. What he attempted to do was take his firearm from him and restrain him. That's what he attempted to do. Also, it's on video in that trial that the gentleman that did have the firearm, when he was down on the ground pointing his firearm, that gentleman's hand was up. He was up, meaning I surrender, right? I'm not here to harm you, but we gotta, meet at some kind of common ground. You can't go around here shooting people, right? So he has his hands up. That wasn't a threatening position, was it? My hands up means I'm trying to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Make it make sense.
Mm-hmm. And it's not supposed to make sense. It's I'm white and I say so. White supremacy is not based on logic.
No,
it's based on dominance
and deception.
Yeah, and deception. Period. You know what I mean? And so that is what it is. But yeah, man. If y'all didn't get a chance to check out that broadcast from the Black Authority, I mean, he was showing you point for point every time the judge was interrupting the prosecutor and basically just playing defense attorney for Kyle. Like the defense attorney didn't even have to do nothing.
Nothing. He was chilling.
You know what I'm saying? The judge, I mean, he just kept interrupting, and you can't say that, and you need to ask this question, and you can't ask that question, and I was like, damn.
He was purposely being argumentative with the defense attorney. His job is to defend.
Yes. Yes.
I'm sorry, not the defense. I'm sorry, but the prosecution. His job, and he said that my job, is to prosecute. I'm trying to get, he's saying one thing, so I'm trying to, call him out on what he's saying. You won't allow me because you keep interrupting me, and then you're giving answers. Like the prosecution was saying this on the video.
Right. 41, 44. They won't allow anything to be admitted.
They won't allow it, right?
Based on his character, anything. The judge just said, hey, just because he said he wished he had his AR to go and shoot some protesters, and then he went out and with an AR and shot some protesters, that don't mean there's a connection there. We don't see no connection there. No, you can't use that in court.
Oh, what about the girl he beat up? What about the video of him beating on a female This boy has a violent history that they are not allowing to be put on as evidence. Come on now.
And again, like people have been pointing out in the black media, when it's a black person, when the black person is even a victim, not even the black person being accused of something, a dead black person who got killed by a race soldier, they bring up all of their criminal history to try to justify why this person is dead.
Exactly.
And if they can't find no criminal history on you, they're going to bring up your mama, your cousin, anybody that they can find that got a criminal history around you, and they're going to put that on front page. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, all of them.
Mr. Garado, just so you know, just because we're black does not mean that we support Black Lives Matter. Understand that. Black Lives Matter, all black people are not a part of that organization nor support them. Just so you know. Just because you see two people on here with black skin does not mean we support that organization, okay? So if you want to know who's going to pay for the damages from Black Lives Matter, I suggest you contact them.
Yeah, that's y'all people. That's y'all people.
Right.
That's y'all people. They ain't our people. If you want to get into what ifs, what about Rosenbaum raping an 11-year-old boy? What about Huber's domestic abuse? Who cares? It's not about them.
Who cares? They went to jail and served their time.
The dead people, the people who got shot are not on trial. Kyle Rittenhouse is on trial.
Period.
You know what I'm saying?
Period.
Kyle Rittenhouse is on trial. And again, it's not about the victims. It's not even about Kyle Rittenhouse. It's about the unjust court system. That's what we're highlighting.
That's it.
That's what we're highlighting and pointing out the contradictions of what's taking place right in front of our face in the courtroom. I mean, the judge should have just worn his white robe instead of the black one. He should have just worn the white one.
Hood and all.
You know what I mean? He's a straight Klansman.
And you guys are just you guys are being, contradictory, on purpose, because you're trying to get a rise out of someone. You're not going to get it here. Facts are facts, proof is proof. And again, Jason Black outlined it. Maybe you guys need to go to his channel and look out how fabulously he did his video and showed what this judge was doing, how corrupt this system is.
Matt said the judge is a Democrat, and and we give Democrats that work all the time.
All the time.
Welcome to Sincere Love the Godcast.
Right.
We don't differentiate white supremacists on the left or the right.
Right. It's all white supremacists.
We don't differentiate. Welcome to Sincere Love the Godcast.
Right. Left wing, right wing, all white supremacy.
You know what I mean? Y'all all part of the same group.
Period.
Matt, Geraldo, Kamala. That's probably all the same person with 3 different accounts.
Right.
But yeah, Jackson, do me a favor and show them to the door. Would you do that for me, please? They have exhausted their entertainment value for the evening. So just show them to the door.
But not before they hit the Cash App.
Yeah, make sure you hit the Cash App before you go. $ sincere love the number 7, $ NYCTEEGUR. Y'all owe. It's a blood debt.
Right. I guess everybody black is Black Lives Matter.
If Mr. Geraldo didn't notice, but there were white people within Black Lives Matter protests destroying businesses, passing themselves off as part of the group. Absolutely.
They know.
Actual fact.
But they know.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that they like to do is play dumb, and then when they like to, make black people the faces of rioting and damaging property and all that stuff. Well, if that's the case, why was it 2 white people that got killed? I'm just saying.
Word. But everybody, man, make sure y'all hit the like button, share the broadcast out. Double check to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel as well. You know how YouTube do. You know what I'm saying? Click notification bell. Hit all when you click notification bell so you can be reminded whenever we go live with new episodes of Sincere Love the Godcast. And again, just a reminder, this week we got Wednesday and Thursday, the Black Business Showcase. Wednesday, we got my brother Merch Life, who is an author, motivational speaker, amongst other things. He's going to be coming on. Thursday, We got
don't make me
Kellen Coleman. Kellen Coleman. He's a consultant. He's a bunch of things too. He got a bunch of credentials too. You know what I'm saying? I know he does like consulting and help people optimize their social media platforms. You know what I'm saying, to get their business and their brand out there. And he does like sports agency and different things like that too. So he'll be on Thursday. So that's our lineup for this week. But for the rest of the month, Wednesday and Thursday, we'll be doing the Black Business Showcase. And of course, y'all can always catch us here on Sundays, same time, same channel, covering these current events. We're gonna be watching this farce of a trial as it continues, and we didn't forget about the Ahmaud Arbery trial, which is taking place right now. Also, they're doing some bullshit down here in Georgia with that as well.
Right. I don't want we don't want any more black pastors showing up, to the courtroom. Now, in that case, right, and I do not believe not any one black person, regardless of the verdict, should show up at court or protest or anything that happens with Rittenhouse. I don't.
Look, I agree.
I agree
because that's being reactionary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's being reactionary and being emotional. You know what I'm saying? We need to be on code every day.
Every day. Now with Arbery, I do believe, not just black pastors, but black people should show up and show out and let them know we're not playing with y'all. We're not going to just take this land down. Maybe they need to see a black presence. I don't know. Not in an emotional way, but in a unified, way, perhaps.
It will make a statement.
Because he said he didn't want
it.
Maybe for that purpose.
Exactly. And I saw Pastor Jamal Bryant. Shout out to Jamal Bryant. I like Jamal Bryant a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He cool. But he said, "Oh, we'll be there." He said, "We showing up and we gonna show out." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he said, "We bringing our own food. We ain't supporting none of the businesses down there. Nothing."
None of that.
You know what I'm saying? So don't worry. Don't stop at no gas station. Make sure you got your gas tank full. Make sure you got your belly full. If you need something to eat, we got you. We ain't supporting the economy and none of that, but we're gonna come here. We're gonna stand up for justice. So shout out to Jamal for that one. You know what I mean? Respect.
And honestly, I knew that he was going. I saw something brief about that, but I didn't know he said all that about the food, and stuff. In that instance, because they're saying we don't want a black presence here, no, you're gonna get it. You need it. But in Wisconsin, leave that alone. Whatever the outcome. We already know what it's going to be. At this point, there's no need for us to get emotional behind it. Go out here, marching, talking about, no justice, no peace, and all that.
Yeah, because when you understand white supremacy, you're not surprised by any of it. And so there's no need to be reactionary. There's no need to get emotional. You know what it is.
You know what it is.
You know what it is. They doing what they're supposed to do. They're the white supremacists. That's what they do.
Upholding white supremacy.
You know what I mean? And so, man, that pretty much wraps it up for the evening. Let me see if I'm forgetting anything. You got any particular business you want to give a shout out to this week?
Yes. I am going to be shouting out Honey Queen because she finally agreed. Not because, but I support her anywhere it happened for the last 4 years. But I want to shout out Honey Queen because she's also agreed to do the show. Can't wait for you guys to meet her. She's based here in Cali, South Central, Los Angeles. Honey Queen.
Is that the sister that she be talking about? She be talking about the health stuff and all of that?
Yeah, she does. So she started her business, and I met her at the Black Student Union at Long Beach State College, and she started off just doing lemonade, different flavors of lemonade, and that has now expanded to, a whole health food, herbs, organic stuff. Like it's just turned into something way bigger than she probably expected, and I'm super proud of her. So I'm shouting out Honey Queen.
Oh, so thanks for that, Cuzzo. Tell your mom she could go to akingbyanymeans.com. Let me see if I got that on here.
Yeah, you got
akingbyanymeans.com. I do got some merchandise over there. I'm going to be updating it soon, but I do have a couple of t-shirts over there, and this hat that I'm wearing right now, Master Elements hat. It says Master Student on the side. But I'm going to be updating the store soon. I'm going to get some hoodies and stuff for the winter. You know what I mean? The weather's changed now, so, you know. But yeah, any support is appreciated. And yeah,
coming.
Yeah, speak on that as well. My sister got her merch in development. I got some new stuff in development. And so I want to shout out my man Adu this week, man. The shirt I'm wearing right here, this is from...
I can't see it because your mic. There you go.
This is from Adu Clothing Line. This is my brother out here in GA. Adu ADU Clothing, I believe, is the Instagram channel. This is my brother. He's not FBA, you know what I'm saying? But that's my brother. Hold on, I'm trying to take this off the screen. Hold on a second. Yeah, he this brother, he's from Ghana, but he started this brand, I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago. But I was the first person to buy a shirt from him when he first started. He's one of my clients. I'm saying I've been cutting his hair since I've been down here. And you know, he's a young dude. You know, he was working regular jobs and stuff like that. And he was always talking about he wanted to be a designer and stuff like that. And I used to encourage him, you know what I'm saying, to just go ahead and get started with it. And so when he finally did it, you know, I went right to the website and made the first purchase. And so I was his first customer with the, but now he's been doing this thing, man. I see a lot of celebrities wearing his stuff now. I seen Charlamagne the God had a shirt on at the Revolt Summit this weekend. I know the dude Jadena, he be wearing it a lot. I think he had it on. He actually had it on his album cover. He was wearing one of his shirts. One of the sisters that does the reporting for the NBA, she was wearing it on the sidelines. I seen one day she was interviewing, I think LeBron. She was interviewing somebody big. I don't remember if it was LeBron, but it was somebody big. She was interviewing on the sideline, and she had on the Adu shirt and all of that. And so I seen this weekend he was at the Revolt Summit, and the dudes from 85 South was bigging him up, giving him props for his clothing line and all that stuff. So shout out to my dude Sam Adu, man. He's doing this thing. He got some NFT stuff coming as well with the brand. So y'all make sure y'all go check my man out, man. That's my shout out for this week as far as black businesses. Yeah, appreciate that, Jackson. Yeah, if you on my Instagram, you can click the link in my bio and you'll see the merch store there as well if you want to get yourself some t-shirts or a hat or whatever. And like I said, stay tuned for the new merchandise coming very soon as well. And that about does it, man. But you guys, man, always remember, we are not the master teachers. We are only the master students and signal boosters for the voices of the new black media.
And make sure you guys check us out this Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Black Business Showcase, actually Wednesday and Thursday. And that's going to do it for the night. Again, make sure you guys hit the Cashapp, like, share. Thank you guys again for joining us as we take you black to the future.
Peace.
Peace.